The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
If your brother has sinned against you, go and point out the fault to him when the two of you are alone. And if he listens to you, you have won back your brother. If he doesn't listen to you, take with you one or two others, so that the case may be decided by the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. And if he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the assembled church. But if he does not listen to the church, then regard him as a pagan or a tax collector. I say to you, whatever you bind on earth, heaven will keep bound. And whatever you unbind on earth, heaven will keep unbound. In like manner, I say to you, if on earth 2 of you agree in asking for anything, it will be granted to you by the Heavenly Father. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there among them. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
My dear friends in Jesus Christ, the liturgical calendar and all the liturgical readings are interconnected. It's a gradual connection. We build ourselves with the Word. So each Sunday we'll have a connection to build on. That's where last Sunday, if you can remember, Jeremiah was struggling with the Word. And he said he was arguing with the Father and saying, you have seduced me. And I have decided not to speak on behalf of you, but then the Word is like fire shut up within my bones. Shut up within my bones. So that's where exactly again Jeremiah couldn't help but do the will of the Father. And that's where St. Peter was used by Satan to do away with the pain, do away with the cross. And the Lord is saying, if you want to follow me, take up your cross and follow. And then what is the cross? There is another dimension the Lord is speaking today in that cross. My dear friends, remember, we are a family. We are a family. And we are never alone. We can't live a life of ivory tower existence, And only me and my car, my petrol and my business, it's my life. This world is so isolated. Even husband and wives, they don't know. They live in isolation. And hardly, not unlike those days, wife doesn't know husband's salary, isn't it? And they have separate, they don't have joint accounts. Not sure about the marriage, They have separate accounts and they have their lives separately. That's why the devil will come to create that division. Devil will come to create that division and he makes you alone. And remember, you can't go to heaven alone. That's a sad part, In Sinhala we call Taniyama Budu wenawa. In Nirvana, we go alone. But then heaven, you can't go alone. So normally priests are said this, when we do our retreats, priests will never go to hell alone or heaven alone. Always we get a flock with us, even to hell. Because we set the example and the kind of life that we are living. That's where the brotherhood, the unity, the connection, we have a spiritual network among all the brothers and sisters. That's where we are called the parts of the body in that mystical body where Jesus is the head. And head will decide, we are connected to the nerves, veins, we are connected with there, and the head, decision of the head will be launched, executed in the parts of the body. That's how I speak, and my gestures and postures are in accordance with my speech, we have this game with children. Can you remember the big fish, small fish? Have you done that game? Big fish, small fish? Shall we do it? Okay, big fish, you have to show it smaller. Do it. Big fish, small fish. Big fish, small fish. But the difficulty is in that game, when you call big fish, you have to show it smaller. When you call small fish, you have to show it bigger. You have to go against that, mind command. So it has to be always the same. So it's always connected. We are a family where we are connected to each other. And today, the Lord is speaking about another duty in this cross where we have to take and follow Jesus. Jesus' word is like a double-edged sword. In Hebrews chapter 4 verses 12, it is said, His word is like a double-edged sword, and it will always pierce your heart. It will test your mind. It tests your deeds. If you are with the word, it will prick your conscience. So it will show whether you are going the right path or the wrong path. That's the word is life. The word is life, and it has power to correct you. So that's why Jeremiah said, your word is like fire shut up within my bones. I can't do away with it. I can't help but preach. So Jesus will always show this. Pharisees and Sadducees, they were challenged by Jesus' words. And the Lord is saying in book of Ezekiel, and we are given a mission to be a watchman. To be a watchman. Watchman is not to gossip or find opa-dupa. We are, of course, in that way we are watchmen. Great watchmen, And one of the jokes we find, a WhatsApp photo was there. America CCTV camera. US CCTV camera. They have 3 cameras in 3 directions. Okay, in England, CCTV camera, they have 5 cameras in 5 directions. Sri Lanka, CCTV camera, old woman waiting in the balcony like this, And that is our CCTV camera, We are so worried about other people's mistake, And then for what? And tarnish the name. You easily find fault with the other person, and then speak the gossip everywhere. Not to that, We have natural tendency to find fault with the other person. Not mena culpa, mena maxima culpa. It's easy, very easy. Gospel is really soothing today, because the Lord is asking you to watch and find the other person's fault. It's not the calling. The Lord is saying, I will appoint you like a watchman. I will appoint you like a watchman. And it's my appointment. It's my calling, and I will set by my dear friends. Those days, there are a lot of attacks by the enemy. They were covered with a parapet wall, and they have their castle inside, and they had a place where the watchman had to wait. So he had to be vigilant, awake where the enemy is coming. He has to be on guard, and he has to sacrifice a lot. When all the soldiers, all the citizens were sleeping, he could not. He had to wake and watch where the danger is coming. So once the danger is coming, he had a bell and he has a horn. He had a silence of where he had to give the sign. The enemy is coming towards the city. So that's the kind of calling. The Lord is taking the same example to make you a spiritual watchman. My dear friends, our enemy is no other than Devil. Satan is our enemy. So, you don't know Satan. You can't, the Satan is camouflaged in such a way. He can come like an angel of light, Corinthians says. Letter to Corinthians, St. Paul says. Angel of light. You don't know. He will come with a, sheep coat, wolf covering with sheep coat. You will see, and very innocent sheep is coming. Until you attack, you don't know. Satan is like a lion. The way lion, they attack is different. Cheetah has speed. But lion they don't have much speed. So they have to get near the prey. Get near the prey silently until of such distance where he can attack the prey. So he will come. He will approach you silently. Devil, you don't know, my dear friends. If you are not on guard, if you are not awake, spiritually awake, you will never see the attack. If you find devil with long teeth and shabbily hair, you will find him very easy. Hardly he comes like that. He comes like, devil would be really handsome, tall, blue eyes, okay, cute, sweet, chubby devils are there. Very provoking, You have to be spiritually awake. Sexually asleep. Spiritually awake, sexually asleep. Once your flesh is active, you are spiritually gone. Flesh in flesh. You can't see the devil. You will kiss the devil, You will hug the devil. You will welcome the devil. You will have party with the devil. Because you are in flesh. So in flesh, of course, you will gossip. In flesh, you will find fault with the other person. It's not like that. You have to be connected in such a way. You have to be connected in such a way. Not only you have to be aware of yourself, what's happening with you. More than you have to go beyond your brother. The way he is attacked. You have to be on guard. It's not easy, my dear friends. It's not easy to be a father. It's not easy to be a mother. Of those weddings, they think about lot of flowery things, lot of, fantastic things in life. They dream about them only. Forget the duty. Forget the duty, my dear friends. That's where the Lord is asking today. I will appoint you like a watchman. So, you will see the attack. And you have a duty to pronounce it. You have a duty to make others aware that you are being attacked. That's your duty. Whether they will listen to you or not, it's another problem. You have a duty to tell what the Lord is telling you. That's your duty. For that, you have to be connected completely. Completely, you have to listen to the voice. You have the radar, In guard rooms, they have their laser radars where they indicate all the movements. So you have to be aware, you have to be connected properly. Network has to be properly operated. Then only you will see, okay, there is a small movement and what it is. Even minute details, you have to be aware. It's a cross, my dear friends. You can't just, you can't just go and just party, just enjoy without this awareness. You can't do that. You are a watchman. Every father is a watchman. Every mother is a watchman. Everyone, there's a duty for you to check, be on guard, because for your brother, for your husband, for your wife, for your children. You have to break rest. You have to repair the mechanism. You have to use all the possible talents to identify the devil. enemy. That's where the Lord is saying. But my dear friends, you only can warn. You are not Jesus. We are not Jesus. We only can warn them, do our best to correct them. That's it. It's up to them to change, have a change of heart. Metanoia, U-turn in their lives. The Lord is saying, I will appoint you as a watchman. I will appoint you. Then if enemy comes, even the bad people, you say that enemy is attacking you. If the bad person is destroyed by the enemy, after your duty, if you do your duty properly, even if the person is attacked by the enemy, you will not be the culprit. But then, if you don't do your duty, if you don't announce it, if you don't show, if you don't warn them, if you mind your own business, if the person is attacked by the enemy, you will be the culprit of that destruction. My dear friends, it's difficult. It's difficult. Most of the time, it's very easy for us to mind our own business, isn't it? Without poking our nose into others' affairs. It's unnecessary problem, I just manage myself. We easily give up on people. We can't do that. We can't do that. You have a duty. You have a duty to give yourself, to sacrifice a lot, to save your brother. That's why the gospel says, if your brother sin against you, if your brother sin against you, it should hurt you. It should not hurt your ego. Our ego get hurt and then we react. He after doing all this, he has done this to me and it's a personal grudge, and then you attack, you react. If your ego is attacked, hurt, you will never deal with the spirit. With ego, ego, spirit can't move on. You have to crush your ego. Forget your ego. Put the I and go. That's ego. Put I aside and go. But then, if someone does something wrong, spiritually, you see the broken nature of that person. And why he's speaking like this. And why he's behaving like this. Why she's doing this. You should be spiritually hurt, not your ego and pride. You should see that damaged person's inside. It's not simply sympathy, it's empathy. You feel with the person. If your finger is wounded, all the parts of the body would be affected with that wound. So everyone will come together. Everyone will come together to heal the wound. That's kind of duty that you have. That's what the Lord is saying. Beautifully He says, if your brother has sinned against you, go and point out the fault to him when the two of you are alone. See the word? Don't hurt the feelings. Don't tarnish the good name. Don't disrespect him. Keep the respect. Don't damage his good name. No, don't insult him. Don't penalize. Don't look down upon him. Your sole motivation should be to correct him. So you should go to him when no one is there, as a brother, with lot of love. Your desire, your goal is to correct him. Of course, we all correct people, no? How? In Sinhala we call dekakkatakara. I gave him tight, and we are very happy after that. After reacting, we are happy. We sleep we sleep like a log, very happy. I gave him tight, By reacting like that, will that person be healed? Will that person be transformed? No, he's more hurt, and he will be put into a greater deep pit because of your reaction. How do you correct children? The way you scold them. Is it correct? Is it correct? One person comes and tells me, Father, and I'm beaten by my father, and I'm wrong, I'm wrong because I'm wrong. Only he hit me. I asked, how he hit you? He hit me with the belt. Come on, get the belt and hit the child. And she's about now 40, 45. Still the wound is there. Still the wound is there. And what are you doing with your children? You have baptized your children, isn't it? And what is the name given? Okay, or whatever, Tyasha, or okay, Yamuna, or Malani, or whoever, whatever it is. And you baptize them again and again, Burua, dog, bitch, and all the names that you use for your child. You know how damaged they are. You say you are nobody, you are useless. And the way you correct your child, you self-project your anger on your children, poor children. You have a problem with your husband and your wife, you have an issue in your office, you come to a home with that garbage, and you dump on your child. Innocent children. Sometimes in YouTube, Facebook, we find these videos, random videos, where they hit the children, Hit the children. Yesterday I saw something, I feel like the way they hit the children. Think about your life, my dear friends. How you correct your husband, how you correct your wife. It's by, blackguarding, scolding, reacting. They will never correct themselves. They will react also. And it's a big commotion. Big problem. You don't know. It's your reaction. It's not correction. That's why the Lord is saying, if you find some fault with your brother, go to him personally. Talk to him personally in such a way you win your brother over. If you correct your brother, it's your victory. Heavens will be open for you. It's your victory because you are accountable for your brother. At the doorstep, at the doorstep of heaven, what are the questions he's going to ask? How many masses? How many confessions you have done? How many rosaries you have recited? How many novenas you have attended to? Never. No, none. St. Peter at the gate, and you will be questioned by him, the Lord. I was hungry. Did you feed me? I was thirsty. I was naked. I was imprisoned. I was alone. Love is the measure. Love is the measure. I mean, it's not easy, my dear friends. You have to forget completely yourself to love. It's agape, it's self-giving love. The St. Paul rightly says, all the commandments are fulfilled in love. Of course, love, you find love in television, no? In videos, in films, you find love, holding hands, running about, and what kind of love, fantastic. That's not love. That's not love. And love and lust are messed up. You don't know what is love, they don't know what is lust. Love, the true meaning of love is agape. Self-giving love. It's difficult, my dear friends. If your brother does not listen to you, is not listening to you, take another person or two, not to gossip. in that culture, witnessing was one of the powerful means of correcting a person. They believed in witnessing. They had to have 2 or more witnesses as to prove a point. So, brother, if you don't listen to me, here comes another 2 people, even they say the same thing. My dear child, my dear brother, my dear sister, please correct yourself. It's not my personal thing. See, even these are, they tell the same things. That should be the motivation. And if he does not listen to them also, then go to the church, assembly of church, ecclesia, and correct them. It's not, you tell everyone he's doing something wrong, you're not going to enjoy it. But you are going to suffer. You are going to feel with that person. You are going to see how Jesus is suffering in that person. Holy Spirit is, dead in that person. If he is not listening to the church also, then consider him as a pagan or a tax collector. So after that only you can kick him out. Is that the meaning? Is that the meaning? How Jesus treated pagans and tax collectors. He went to Zacchaeus' place, isn't it? He was a chief tax collector, and he went to his place and dined with him and accepted him in such a way. A multitude of crowd came behind Jesus. He left them all and went to Zacchaeus' place. In Luke chapter 19, he went to Matthew's place. Levi, he went to that table and invited him and dined with him. Dining, having dinner, having a meal in their culture is sharing his life. You cannot leave your brother. You cannot turn a blind eye, however much he does not listen to you. You have a duty as a watchdog, as a watchman, to tell that this is wrong. You should not be tired of it. That's your duty. Until you die, you have a duty. As a mother, as a father, you are a watchman and watchwoman. You have to do that. It's not easy, my dear friends. It's not easy. Sometimes you don't see anything, any change in their lives. Jesus preached for 3 years, and on the cross, only 3 were there. Seemingly, it was a failure. But my dear friends, believe, you have a reward in heaven. You can't leave your brother or sister. You have a duty to be connected strongly to the Father and show the right thing and listen to him. Listen to him, be connected spiritually, and see the danger in your brother and sister, husband or wife, your child, and be that watchman who pronounces his word, who uses his word to correct them, have that change, metanoia, in their lives. So it's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. It's a terrible, hard, heavy cross that we have to bear. There's no other way. You and I can't go to heaven alone. You can't do that. We are a family. We are all connected. The Lord is saying, if 1 or 2 unites in one purpose and pray, my Father will give them what they're praying for. That's why our prayers are not answered. Our family prayers are not answered. We are not united. We don't consent on a point, We don't come to agreement on a point. We are so divided. We are so deviated. We are so distracted. We have our own lives. The Lord is saying, if 2 or 3 or more gathered in my name, I will be there in that community. So in your family, is Jesus there? Is in your family? Do you have a place for Jesus? Or you're so distracted? Phones are one of the major temptations. TVs are one of the major temptations. We don't come together in prayer. You don't come together in one agreement. You're so divided. Think about it. Ask Mother Mary. Rosary is one of the beautiful and powerful ways of uniting, as the beads of the rosary are connected in one connection. When we say the rosary, we are connected. We are connected. Family rosary is the most simple way of our gathering, heavenly gathering in our family, my dear friends. So be faithful to this and think about it. When you are united, your prayers are so powerful. It will pierce the heaven, pierce the cloud and go to heaven. When you are united in His name, Jesus is going to be with you. So devil will always try to break that connection. Be on your guard and be the watchman where you point, where you warn your brother and sister of the attack of the Satan and the evil one.